Okay, now we are going to get into how the Great Depression really affected the family structure and roles of different people and how men, women, and children were affected specifically by the Great Depression. We know that in the early 20th century, throughout the 20th century, that men were the expected sole providers of income and employment for their families. So, as unemployment increased and everybody lost their jobs, many men were out of work and they broke under the strain of being expected to provide for their families, keep them not hungry, full, have shelter over their heads, to have stability, and to be able to count on being able to survive during this time. And many were not able to do that. So men walked the streets in search of jobs all day, every day. This is all they did. They would wake up in the morning, leave the house, go business to business, asking for jobs, and hundreds of people would do this at a time. And obviously, they didn't get the jobs because there was no demand for workers, because there was no demand for products during the collapse of the economy. So, after a while, some men stopped trying. Many did persist, and some even did find jobs, don't get me wrong. Some abandoned their families because they were so demoralized and broken inside that they weren't able to live up to the expectation of a man in society to be able to provide that food and stability and money for families. And this just really cracked a lot of people inside. Um, During the Great Depression, there were about 300,000 homeless people, which are called transient people. So they're mostly men. There's a picture down on the bottom, and it says, "We want to be citizens, not transients." And I want you to kind of look at these pictures and see what they're wearing. It's not like these men are wearing rags and laying on the ground. They are getting done up, trying to find jobs and do the best for their families. So you can see how this pressure really cracked them inside and eventually did hurt some families and broke some up. So men were really affected during the Great Depression because they were expected to pull the strain of what was happening for their families.